Hello students. Today we are going to have a look at the poem How to Tell Wild Animals by Carolyn Wells. Before we begin with the poem, let us learn a few things about our poet. Carolyn Wells was born in New York on June 18, 1862. She was a prolific American writer, acknowledged mainly for her famous mysteries, children's books, nonsense and humorous verse. Her first book, titled At the Sign of the Sphinx, was the result of a love for puzzles. Her other noted publications are The Jingle Book, The Story of Betty, and a book of verse named Idle Idylls, printed in 1900. Let us now begin with the poem for today. The poem spins around the theme of dangerous wild animals in their various habitats. Wells has tried to differentiate one animal from another in a comical way. The diverse repertoire of creatures includes the Asian lion, the Bengal tiger, leopard, bear, crocodiles, hyenas, and chameleons. In the first stanza of the poem, the poet says that if you ever happen to go to forests in the east, you might have a chance encounter with a large and brown-colored animal. Wells identifies this animal as the Asian lion, whose loud roars are the last thing you may hear while you are dying. If ever you should go by chance to jungles in the east, and if there should to you advance a large and tawny beast, if it roars at you as you're dying, you'll know it is the Asian lion. In a similar vein, the second stanza describes an encounter with the Bengal tiger. Or if sometime when roaming round, a noble wild beast greets you, with black stripes on a yellow ground, just notice if he eats you. This simple rule may help you learn the Bengal tiger to discern. Note how the poet calls the tiger noble and tells the readers how to identify it by its black stripes on yellow hide as it eats them up. In the third stanza, the poet says that if you see a wild beast whose hide is covered with spots as you are strolling, and it leaps on you, you must realize that it is a leopard. It will be useless to cry in agony, as it will continue to leap at you and eat you. If strolling forth a beast you view whose hide with spots is peppered, as soon as he has leapt on you, you'll know it is the leopard. 'Twill do no good to roar with pain, he'll only leap and leap again. The fourth stanza says that if you encounter an animal that hugs you tightly while simply walking around in your yard, then rest assured that it is a bear. If you are still uncertain, it will all be clear when it caresses you to death. If when you're walking round your yard you meet a creature there who hugs you very, very hard, be sure it is the bear. If you have any doubt, I guess he'll give you just one more caress. In the fifth stanza, the poet says that a novice or beginner might get confused while identifying animals. If it is difficult for you to differentiate between a crocodile and a hyena, keep in mind that a hyena always smiles, but if it weeps, it is a crocodile. Though to distinguish beasts of prey a novice might nonplus, the crocodiles you always may tell from hyenas thus. Hyenas come with merry smiles, but if they weep, they're crocodiles. It is of course impossible to confuse a hyena with a crocodile. A hyena is a four-footed mammal, and the crocodile belongs to the class of reptiles. The poet makes this ridiculous statement for the sake of humor. Through this statement, she also attunes us to animal behavior. She also uses idioms like crocodile tears, literally to make fun of the way we attribute characteristics to animals. In the final stanza of the poem, the poet is teaching the reader how to differentiate between a chameleon and a lizard. A chameleon is similar to a lizard and doesn't have ears or wings. The true chameleon is small, a lizard sort of thing. He hasn't any ears at all and not a single wing. If there is nothing on the tree, 'tis the chameleon you see. Jestingly, the poet says that if you look at a tree and see nothing, be certain that there is a chameleon there. A chameleon camouflages to the color of the tree and hence is not visible. A lizard cannot possibly do that. Let us now discuss the tone of the poet and the manner in which she addresses the readers throughout the poem. The way in which Wells casually describes deadly encounters with carnivorous animals points to her use of dark humor. Dark or black humor is used to make a serious or painful subject lighter. The laughter triggered by dark humor comes from a place of irony, cynicism, or skepticism. Wells exercises poetic license when she spells the word dying as dine and attempts to rhyme it with lion. She does the same when she expresses the act of the leopard's leaping as lep. The poem introduces us to animals across different geographical habitats and inspires us to be better acquainted with wildlife. So, that was Carolyn Wells for you. Hopefully, the roar of lions and the laughter of hyenas will not give you nightmares. See you in our next lesson.